is Tammy Nichols, and I reside in Caldwell, Idaho, and I can't come back tomorrow, so that's why I'm up here. There's been lots that's been covered, so I'm going to try to go through what I have that has not been covered. Again, we were informed that in Article 5, its purpose is not to enforce people to follow the Constitution. It's to correct errors in the Constitution and not to rein in abusive government. The Constitution is not what is broken. It is the government and its refusal to follow the Constitution. Many believe that a runaway convention will not occur. However, and I wanted to refer back to the CRS because that's a really interesting document, and I ask all of you to try to read that. The Congressional Research Summaries list out congressional powers in a convention. The CRS does not give their own interpretation on what they think. They report on what Congress has already identified as their purpose and part in an Article 5. Congress believes that they will establish all the internal and external procedures for a convention. My question is, if it's not going to become a runaway convention, then how will it be limited and by who? If Congress believes that they will be the police force to limit the convention, then how does a limited convention allow my representative to represent me? My state would have to surrender its sovereignty and full representation of its people to submit to the authority to maintain a limited government and a limited convention, which means the federal government would rule over the states once again. Besides, how is controlling Congress working for us right now? And why would they limit control over themselves? The CRS also further states that Congress has not in general embraced the theory that its role is purely ministerial or clerical, and that its work is done once a convention has been called. On the contrary, it has traditionally asserted broad and substantive authority over the full range of the Article 5 Convention's procedurals and institutional aspects from start to finish. Congress has the exclusive authority over an Article 5 amendment process and to be able to establish procedures on how it's going to work, both in authority, power, rules, and rights. The Supreme Court has already expanded Congress's power by ruling accordingly on these parts. And just for the record, in regards to the ratification, there are 6 amendments that have been submitted to the states but that have never been ratified. And these include the Article 1 of the original Bill of Rights, the Anti-Title Amendment, the Slavery Amendment, the Child Labor Amendment, the Equal Rights Amendment, and the Washington, D.C. Voting Rights Amendment. None of those have actually been ratified yet. To give one example, though, regarding amendments, Justice Stevens has proposed an amendment for an Article 5 that has to do with the Second Amendment. His new amendment would state that a well-regulated militia, being necessary for the security, a free state, the right of the people, while in uniform, to bear arms shall not be infringed. There are numerous other amendments like these just waiting for an Article 5 to issue, including new constitutions. You see, by allowing an Article 5 in this current political state and mindset, we will only open up a Pandora's box in which there will be no control. In essence, we will end up with a convention of the Congress, not a convention of the states. My solution instead is to look to the 10th Amendment for a nullification, as well as to an Article 6, enforcing our representative at all levels of government to uphold their oath in the Constitution in which they are bound by. Everything that we need is in the Constitution that we currently have. We only need to uphold it, follow it, and as individual states, do the same and demand it at the federal level. And I will take any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Carter,
Nichols.
Oh, Nichols, sorry.
That's
I got
okay.
the wrong one. Tammy Nichols there. I don't see any questions for you. Thank you.